In fact, we're going to see the Pelicans 3 times in the next, 32 days. We'll get to know them a little bit.
This becomes a critical game for both teams because the Pelicans feel that they're going to be in a position to get you see what Brandon Ingram just did? You see that? Again, they run plays for players to utilize their dominant hand off of a curl.
LeBron, first possession. Remember the Lakers started the other night 0 for 10 from beyond the arc, but getting to the cup that time. Chief Tom Washington and Brandon Adair. Let's just hope we don't have a 20-minute, a couple of reviews, but that one took on its own about 15 minutes. LeBron, boy, went right around, steals it. LeBron, of course, had 6 turnovers, 6 of the 12 turnovers for the Lakers the other night. He knows it. He knows he's got to clean it up. Nice dish under to Trevor. He took his time, but it's going to result in an and one. Right or not, that's just the 8th 2-point basket the entire year for with Dwight. Here comes Jones, gets around 1, 2. Oh, reverse layup is good.
Very nice use.
Watch Jones on this end of the floor, though. He's a very, very good defender, even as a rookie. Was a very heralded defender when he was at Alabama, where he played for 4 years. It's translated to the NBA. LeBron, though, goes around and scores. Here's at Lehigh. Of course, teamed up with Dame Lillard to make one of the most lethal backcourt tandems in the NBA for years. Valanciunas, flat-footed, scores.
And that's his shot.
Doesn't shoot it a lot. In fact, the differential in three-point between themselves and their opponents, the most in the NBA. But good for the Lakers. They're down, though, 10-9 early. Here's Jones, steps right around Howard to score. He's made a couple of nice driving layups. Possibly an ill-advised long jump shot from about 25, 30 feet. Overshadowed a pretty good game by him offensively the other night. And Russ can't score, but he'll go to the line and shoot a couple.
We get free throws coming here to Russell Westbrook as the Lakers down by their largest margin thus far of 3, once led by 4.
Russ was held under 20 yet again the other night, 7 straight under 20. And, you know, with no AD shots available, and he does so many other things, does Russ, but they're going to need him to score maybe a little bit more. While we have a moment, here's a word from Carl's Jr.
Give in to the new Double Bacon Beast Burger at Carl's Jr. and feed your happy.
You know, in the last game, Russ didn't have any turnovers. You know, he had those 18. He didn't have any turnovers. So he's cut down on his turnovers, and that's a good thing, obviously. And I think he's got to continue to look to operate more the mid-post and low post, where he has that a little bit of an advantage since he can get to the rim so easily.
Yeah, and then, as we mentioned, just work hard on this end of the floor, the defensive end of the floor. Going to get a whistle and a foul out on the perimeter with 5:21 remaining in the quarter. That's going to be Carmelo picking up the foul. I mentioned his offense the other night, Stu. He scored 18, had 4 threes, 5 rebounds, couple of steals, but missed that shot that could have given the Lakers the lead late. I mean, really late in the contest. Valanciunas has to get into the backcourt to control it. CJ eyes the clock, still 6 to shoot. Into the post, here's Ingram, still really a good mid-range shooter.
And he's long, you know, especially when you have someone shorter than him on him. He's not worried about contesting his shot. He's a tough cover.
Yeah, he can be lights out in that mid-range game. Russ now one-on-one on the wing. Over Jones and off the window for 2.
That was a good read by Russell Westbrook. Jones gave him that half step, and he had the space he needed.
Ingram, rise, fire, can't hit that one. Rebound taken out by Dwight. So shooting 38% here in the quarter. The Pelicans on the league saw some daylight, but he couldn't finish it. Now Tony Snell, born in Watts, is bounced around the league, played at King High School with Kawhi Leonard, and his long 3 is good.
He sized that one up and shot the rainbow 3.
9th year in the league for Tony. Now 30 years of age. 3 years at New Mexico. Mentioned 6 teams in the association. Wide open. Carmelo comes up short. Since he's been acquired, has played the most minutes of anybody on the Pelicans. This is his 7th game. Valanciunas hits the heel. Rebounded Dwight. We're going to see THT in a moment. He had a big second half against the Clippers. Montu puts a move on, but then runs into the big fella, turns it over, foul on Russ.
Good foul because they had numbers advantage 2-on-1 after the turnover by Mo. THT coming in, out goes Austin Reeves.
Going to get a couple of substitutes for the Pelicans. Jose Alvarado, undrafted out of Georgia Tech. He's a rookie. He's in wearing number 15. Jackson Hayes returns. And Devontae Graham, pretty good player. He's in at guard too. The handoff to, oh boy, that was not a good offensive set. I mean, they ran into each other basically that time. Ingram and Hayes.
Ingram got to the paint. I thought he was going to try to extend and shoot, but he decided to pass and waited too long and gets called for the travel as he came down before he released the ball.
Biggest lead for either side here in the first quarter has been 4 points. Russ underneath. That's good entry pass.
And you see where he was there as they have a shorter defender on him. And he immediately went to the low post.
And Russ has 8 here in the early going. And the teardrop is good by Alvarado. He had a DNP the other night after playing in 23 straight games. They had a nice, impressive win, by the way, that we have not mentioned. That's a turnover.
Sometimes it's the guard that puts the big in a position.